In this episode, we'll be discussing some basics of e-commerce SEO. We'll touch on some of the most advanced stuff as well, but the purpose of this episode is to give you an example, a practical example of how you can implement product pages that perform very well in Google. And to do that, we're going to run a live search. And in the last episode, we realized we didn't describe as much for the people listening on Spotify and iTunes. So we're going to do that this time. And we're going to do a live search of a few products. We'll click on the first result on page 1 and go all the way to page 10, where most people will never go, and click on the first result there and do a comparison. And we'll explicitly point out all the things that the first result on page 1 is doing that the result on page 10 is not doing, and then we'll explain why Google has chosen the first result, right? So obviously we're going to start at something very basic, something everyone searches for. Let's say let's go with men's clothing, right? All right, let's go. Men's clothing. So obviously there's a bunch of ads at the top. We're interested in the organic listings. So the first result, by the way, 246,000 people search for men's clothing around the world, right? The first result on my page, now you have to take into consideration that in your location you might have a different first result. But for us, it's Urban Outfitters, right? And so I'm using a free Chrome extension from Moz called the Moz bar. You can get that and add it to your Google Chrome. So our Moz bar extension is telling us that this first result from urbanoutfitters.com has got 96 links to it. Page authority is 50. Domain authority is 91. Now, for those of you that don't know, domain authority is basically a score out of 100 showing how authoritative your site is in any given industry, right? So, and that's a tool by Moz. Google hasn't explicitly claimed to use this as a search ranking factor. This is a tool by Moz. They rank it. They figure out your domain authority through using stuff like how much content you have on your site, who links to you, and how long you've been around. You know, just in a very basic sense. So I'm gonna click on the first result, which is Urban Outfitters, and then I'm gonna go all the way to page 10, where no one will click. And the first result there is by a company called Aqua Scotum. I don't know what that. Hey, I might be destroying the brand name, but I have no idea what that is.
That ain't it, chief.
I don't know. Listen, so I'm gonna do a simple comparison first of all on Google search page of their meta description and meta title.
All right.
Right? So first of all, if someone searches for men's clothing, 200,000 people search for that. Just for you guys who are watching the video, you can have a look at the domain authorities on the first page. So just for reference, the first result, Urban Outfitters, has got a domain authority of 91. Then we have boohoo.com, which is 77. Then we have New Look, which is 75. Next, 78 domain authority. So it seems like the domain authority is something that Google is looking at in this case. It wasn't the case in our last episode, because in our last episode, Shopify was number 1, but they had less domain authority than Esquire, which was on page 10. But the thing about the last one is, Shopify had way more content to do with teaching people how to start a podcast. Versus Esquire, who's like a fashion thing. So technically, if you think about it, Shopify was giving users way more information to help them succeed in starting a podcast, right? So this might be the case here. If we look at Urban Outfitters, Boohoo, New Look, Next. I mean, I know Urban Outfitters and I know Boohoo. Boohoo that's a female thing, right? Is it?
Boohoo.
They have Boohoo Man,
Oh yeah.
but Boohoo is primarily female, right? So maybe that's why it's playing and new look. But listen, anyway, let's not get distracted. Let's go back to this. The first thing we look at is the meta title. Men's clothes, and this is what Urban Outfitters says. Men's clothes and accessories. And then they have clothing, underwear, and shoes. That's what it says. And then the title says, discover Urban Outfitters men's collection. Explore our range of jackets, jeans, trousers, tops, underwear, and accessories such as hats and sunglasses. What do you think? What do you think about that? Well, how does that read to you? Is that something, if you search for men's clothing, is that something you'd click on?
Yeah, I have quite a large selection of men's men's items.
I think, and it seems like the URL, right? Because in SEO, you're supposed to have a SEO friendly URL. The URL says urbanoutfitters.com/gb/men's-clothing. Perfect, right? Now let's go all the way to page 10 and see what they're doing. Right, so the first result on page 10 is men's designer clothing. Designer menswear, luxury men's clothing. So it's interesting. We search for men's clothing. And I mean, they may not be trying to rank for men's clothing because they're clearly luxury menswear. Let's have a look. Let's look at the pages now. So now we click through on the first one, Urban Outfitters. Let's look at how their page looks. Right? So right at the top, they've got a banner. This week's deals. And then they've got their navigation. They've got another navigation to talk about trends, brands, and then they've broken it down by category. So if you look at it, they've broken it down. So these are all their men's clothing. After their main navigation, they've got another one that's breaking it down. So if you're looking for men's clothing and you come here, you can break it down by tops, coats and jackets, bottoms, underwear, accessories, right? And then now the first thing I'm going to try to do is navigate out of the screen. Now, you know when sometimes you visit a site and you scroll out of the window, you get a pop-up.
Oh yeah.
These guys are not doing that. I haven't seen anything yet. Maybe we might see, but one thing is Google doesn't really like those pop-ups because they're quite intrusive.
Yeah, they're annoying.
Yeah, they're annoying.
Leave. Where's the X button? You can't even find this.
Listen, sometimes the X button is the same color as the background. You can't click. You can't. Okay, so what they're trying to do is they're trying to show us notifications. So I'm gonna allow that. So what just happened is, they've just popped up with a push notification to say show notifications. I've just allowed that. I'll see what they do then, right? Let's see what they do. So let's have a look at the page. So first of all, you have two very striking images of their new collection, right? Shop jeans or just shop. Scroll down, and there's the images keep going, and then you have t-shirts, accessories, hoodies and sweatshirts from the blog. It's very interesting though, right? They don't have any text on this page, like any description on this page.
It's just images.
It's just images. So you'd be looking at this and thinking, well, that domain authority definitely has something to do with this. Because it's not a quote-unquote optimized page. Clearly, they have a lot. Like, if you think about it, ultimately, what they're trying to do is they're trying to answer Google's question. Men's clothing. There's a lot of men's clothing here. So, I'm gonna skip past the speed test and go to the first result on page 10. Right? So let's have a look at this. This is supposed to be luxury clothing. So they have much less domain authority, 47. Then as you scroll down, it's a very similar layout to theirs. But it seems like the first result there was pretty much based on Google's knowledge of these guys being a menswear brand, because that page to me doesn't look like what something that be super optimized.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Let's have a look here. So I'm using, there's another tool, right? It's a Chrome extension. It's called Keywords Everywhere. And basically, anytime you search for anything in Google, it's gonna tell you exactly how many people are searching for it, and it's gonna give you related keywords. So let's search for something else. Let's search for a specific product. Gray men's t-shirt. How about that? Let's search for that. It's very specific, right? So obviously you've got the ads, but let's skip that. Let's skip that. I'm gonna leave the other pages open. And the first one that you see is buy men's t-shirts. This the first result on page 1 is next.co.uk. Obviously we're in the UK, so we see a lot of the British brands popping up. Buy men's t-shirts, gray t-shirts from the Next UK online shop. That's the first result. The first result has no links to it, as Mosbar is pointing out, but it's got a domain authority of 78. So it'd be interesting to see how the page is laid out. So let's click on that. Now let's go to page 10 again. Let's go to.
Why are there no links linked to it?
No one's linking to that specific page. It's very interesting. Now on page 10, the first result is Amazon India. This should be interesting. Amazon India. This is very interesting, isn't it?
Let's see what that page looks like.
Let's see what that. Okay, first of all, let's see what next page look like. So obviously this is a category page, because if you look in the URL, it says https www.next.co.uk/shop/gender men category t-shirts color gray. So clearly they've built this page, or they've optimized this page for that specific search. Right, so I'm just scrolling down all the way down just to have a look at how this page is laid out. And the only thing that's striking here is they're all gray t-shirts. Again, no text. It just says, so let's look at the first thing. It just says,
obviously apart from the title of the shirt.
Apart from the title. So men's t-shirts, gray. Let's look at what that is. Is that an H1?
So you're inspecting what, the elements?
Yeah. So, right. So I've just right-clicked on the heading, and I'm inspecting it. And that's an H1 tag. So it just says, for the whole category. It says men's t-shirts gray. That's an H1. And then it just has a bunch.
Why is that important?
Well, the H1 basically tells Google this is what the page is about. That's a heading. So that's the very first heading, and they've used that as an H1 tag. They're basically telling Google this is what this page is about. Right, and then they just have a bunch of gray shirts. But if you look at it, it's still got no text. Like, the only text on the page is the text underneath each shirt, and not even all of them say gray. Mid gray, mid long sleeve t-shirt, 5-pack, dark charcoal, regular fit crew neck. Interesting, right? So, but so far it seems like what? Just the big well-known brands will pop up.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. How about we go down further down page 1? Maybe we might see some other brands, right? Let's because I want to get a good sense of what the optimized page will look like for the small brand that has a new website that wants to do this stuff.
What's this one with 22? What up again? This
top man. No, they've got big. They've got big. So I guess what we're arriving here is you're not gonna compete with these dudes.
No.
It's not possible.
But why though? Why can't you compete?
Because Google already knows. First of all, most people are gonna click on this because Google knows these are the guys.
Okay, what is it that these guys are doing though?
They've built up their sites to be powerful over decades. How many links they've got? Even though that page doesn't have many links, if we look at Next, .co.uk, if we run a test, if I go to there's a tool, right, called Moz Open Site Explorer. If you search for it, if I type in next.co.uk, we can see how many backlinks they've got. Right?
This is to the whole site.
To the whole site. Let's look at the root domain, right?
Yeah, let's not forget the other site as well. What was the other one?
Amazon India.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. 32,000 linking domains, 14 million inbound links.
So they're linking to themselves 40 million times?
No, this is how many people are linking to them.
So 32,000
linking domains. 32,000 other websites are linking to next.co.uk for whatever reason. If we look at the top pages,
top pages linking to them?
Top pages that they're on their website. OCD and shit. If we look at the linking domains, so they have a lot from YouTube, Google Plus, Reddit, WeHeartIt.com, Pinterest, Wikipedia, Microsoft.com. Yeah, so they've built up their sites. Yeah, so you're not gonna compete with these guys. Like, you have to be very slick with your SEO if you're gonna show up on search for your little e-commerce store. What you have to do, you have to find long tail keywords, bro. And these long tail keywords sometimes don't have the search volume. That's why keyword research is so important. Like, you have to spend a lot of time. And I do this. It's tough sometimes, but you have to do it. What if your whole strategy is not to look at this face value, like, oh, let's try and rank for men's white shirts? What if your whole strategy should be through content? What if you just become the style guide, the style Bible for men's clothing? Anytime somebody searches for, like, how, right? How? Let's see. How to wear a gray suit. 390 people search for that every month. And check this out. The first site has a domain authority of 62. Dude, even if you have a new site, you can compete with that. You can legit compete with this dude.
Yeah, so don't go in through the fashion, because that's cutthroat.
Dude, no one's gonna find you if you search for men's clothing. Are you crazy? Your site, you just bought your domain last year and you're gonna start competing with Amazon and Topshop? It's not happening.
So start with,
dude, you need to become the dude. You need to be showing people, look at this. So people search for light gray suit, blue tie. Look at that. When someone searches for that, they're looking to see, how does this look?
Certain tie combinations.
How? Look at this. Ramply. Okay. First of all, the first result is the idleman.com. 56 domain authority. I'm sure that's a blog, right? Let's scroll down. 1, 2, 3, 4. The number 4. The fourth result has a domain authority of just 38. They're above Pinterest. Page authority of 25 and only 4 links to their site, to that page, right? Check this out. You see how smart these guys are? Ramply and Co. This is their strategy. They know they're not competing with no Topshop. So what is this site? This is an e-commerce store. It's obviously, so it's called Ramply and Co. London. And if you search for light gray suit, by the way, guys, if you're listening to this, there's so many people searching for suit and shirt combinations. It's unbelievable.
Like, what's the right one?
Dude, what should I wear?
Am I doing it wrong?
Right? Dude, let me just read some of this stuff.
You put black and black together. Like, nah.
That's
how you do it.
200 people searching for this every month.
Light gray suit, blue tie.
Light gray suit, blue tie. Do you know how many combinations you could come up with? Let's see. Light gray suit. Let's see who's crazy enough to... Oh, green tie. 30 people search for that. Light gray suit, green tie. Right? And then you have just a bunch of Pinterest. You've got Moss. You've got Quora. Dude.
Where's Quora?
Quora's right there. You can go and comment in Quora, answer the Quora question, and say, yo, this is how you do it. By the way, check out my site. We have all the best suits and ties. So let's go back to Ramply and Co., who have a domain authority of 38, right? 25 page authority, and they've written a guide of color combinations. First of all, let's uncover the whole strategy. I'm sorry guys, but we're gonna look at. So they have 35,000 estimated visits, and if you look at how
similar web plugin,
we're using the similar web plugin or extension, and we're looking at the top organic keywords for Ramply and Co. So some of the top organic keywords are obviously Ramply and Co. But semi-formal pocket square fold, how to match a pocket square, pocket square. So these guys have just pretty much taken the whole pocket square space, by the way. Pocket square bow tie, 320 people search that. And they are 4th on that list. But it's interesting, right? Because if you think about this, if someone's searching for pocket square bow tie, then they're not just gonna click on the first result, are they? They want to compare. You go through it. Sometimes when I search for this stuff, if I search for combinations, like if I want to I'll click through the first 5 results. So your strategy is not to think, oh, I'm gonna try and beat the big boys. No, you have to come with content. Like you have to become the person trying to style people. That's your whole strategy.
What are the big players? Do they do that then? They help people to style.
Let's look at Urban Outfitters. Where's their blog? Would they need to? These guys have got people coming to their sites when they search men's clothing. Obviously they've got the style blog, but they're clearly not there. You see that? That's such a great opportunity. How crazy is that? So they've taken that space, they're comfortable with that space. They've left a whole other thing for you.
Yeah, let all these other little people to come in.
Right?
Blown.
So it doesn't matter what product you have, you just have to you just have to go online, think very clearly about what specific words your target audience will be using to find websites like yours, and just write content for it.
Okay, what do the blog posts for some of these, like
Ramply and Co? What does it look like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there mostly pictures?
So this is a full-on post. Like they add pictures. So they've got, okay, check this out. Let's run through this. First of all, let's start with the heading. The heading says gray suit combinations. Right? Let's inspect that. For some reason, the heading is a link. I've not seen that before. So the H1 is a ahref, is a link.
So what does it link to?
It just links to itself. I haven't seen that before. That's a new one for me. Like if you click that, it just links back. That's interesting. They try to give themselves their own backlinks. But that's, yeah, I haven't seen that one before, but we can address that in a later episode. But that's definitely an H1. They've obviously got the share buttons. And then let me read the first line of this. In our guide to gray suit combinations, you see how they're putting the keyword in there? This is awesome. In our guide to gray suit combinations below, we will provide you with some general rules that will elevate and enhance your style. From bold to laid back, the gray suit is often the one to stand out amongst the tide of black and navy options. In this post, we'll cover color combinations, how to wear your suit for different occasions, choosing the right accessories. By the way, guys, if you just listen to what I just read, first of all, they put in the keyword as the heading, as the H1 title. They put the keyword in the text, and they're giving more context, right? So one thing that is important for writing articles is to make sure that you show Google exactly what your page is about. So they've said gray suit combinations. They're talking about navy options. They're talking about enhance your style. Color combinations, how to wear your suit for different occasions. Right? And then they've broken it down by color combinations. You've got pictures. Let's look at the pictures. Let's inspect the picture.
What are you looking for though when you inspect them?
I want to see. You see that? They've got the alt text.
Alt text is what? Gray suit
with blue shirt. They've got the alt text. These guys are doing it. They know what they're doing, right? They've got images. They've got text. They've got more images.
Oh, they got Beckham. They got, what's his name? Gandhi.
They got Gandhi.
This is David Gandhi.
They got everyone, and they're giving credit to the image source. And then they've gone on to explain how you wear this stuff in a wedding, in the office. Dude, Google's like, hey, this is dope. This is a dope, like, this is giving me all the context I need. And then there's a conclusion. In conclusion, the gray suit is a very versatile suit color. In general, the lighter the suit color, the more casual it tends to be. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to prove their authority in this space. They're giving you their own take on this. They're telling you, look, the gray suit is versatile, but basically the lighter it is, the more casual. However, the shirt color and accessories can definitely dress up or down the suit. You see how they're explaining this? So they're proving themselves as the authority when it comes to this. Right? And then at the end of it, of course, click here to view our full range of fine men's accessories. And of course, what do? They link to their most popular products.
There we go.
This is gonna increase conversions. You see what I'm saying, guys? This stuff is crazy. So basically, your goal is not to say, look, let's compete with these guys, and if after a few months of doing it, of course it's not gonna work. You have to be creative. You have to go at it from a content standpoint. And then let's have a let's see how many people will share this.
What do you find out?
Well, we could use BuzzSumo. You see this? Check this out. You see how sick these guys are? They're getting engagements on social media. It's not a lot, but they're doing 17, 12, 10. They're getting people sharing.
These are the most shared articles.
Yeah, these are the most shared articles
on different platforms.
On different, look, they get some on Pinterest, they get some on Facebook, but it's all good because what happens is when people share your content and people click from it from Facebook and social and Twitter, it shows Google that, yo, people are actually liking this stuff and it's proving your authority. Because people are sharing it on social like, hey, this is dope. You should check this out. So Google's looking at it like, yo, actually, that's a pretty good site. I like that. Right? So in terms of trying to rank for products, dude, don't try. You guys, you need to be looking. You need to find your niche. You need to look at finding what specific terms your target audience will use to find your products and try and create content around that. That's the best way. So we're gonna do a quick search. I'm gonna search for gray suit combinations. 2,900 people search for this every month around the world. And in our location, Rampley & Co. is what? Third, fourth result? It's pretty good. You've got a 38 domain authority. They're above Pinterest, which is 89, right? So
let's go to the first one though. Let's compare the first ones.
The Idle Man.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what the Idle Man is doing.
Why is it above?
Why is it above Rampley?
And then what's page 10 of the search?
What's page 10? Okay, let's see what's on page 10. Lifehacker.com. It's very interesting. Lifehacker.com is a big site, by the way. 92 domain authority.
Oh shit. How do you get that high domain authority anyway?
Dude, they've been around though, and they've got loads of links. And they've just published loads of content. Like, they've built up the authority over years. You see, one thing we've noticed though is Idleman has got the pop-ups.
Are they number one?
They're number one for this, for gray suit combinations. But let's see, maybe let's look at why Idleman will be above Rampley & Co., which is number 3 in this list for that search. So we're gonna use Pingdom Tools for a site speed test, and we're gonna test Idleman. So the Idleman, performance grade of 65. Load time of 1.9 seconds. Page size of 4 meg. That is the...
What's the requests?
Request is how many times it has to ask the server for for something. It has to request like images. It has to request. Okay, so if I open this, if I inspect this page, console network. Is it network? Yes, network. So let me load the page. So that's it physically asking for CSS files, images, JavaScript files, all this other it's just basically it getting all the files from the server. That's how many requests. So if we look at this, the first result for gray suit combinations has 164 requests. Now let's look at Rampley and Co., who are the third result for this specific search, and who are doing a great job of putting out content, by the way. Yeah, let's not forget Lifehacker. Let's see what page the third result is doing. So this is 69 performance grade, less requests, smaller page size, and less load time.
So what are the numbers? 121 for requests, 1.3 megabytes page size, 69
performance grade, the pre versus 65 performance grade. 121 requests versus 145 requests or something like that. 1.9 seconds load time for the Idle Man versus 1.1 load time for Rampley and Co. So this page is performing better, but the Idle Man has a better domain authority though, right? Let's look at what Lifehacker is doing, and Lifehacker has got a pop-up as well. Let's look at a test. Let's look at a speed test for Lifehacker first.
Pop up to what? Get your email and stuff?
Yeah, get your email. Rampley doesn't have that. I don't believe in. The Idleman does. So Lifehacker is all the way on page 10 for this specific search. Why is that? Because Lifehacker has got the largest domain authority out of them all. Yeah, this is worse than both.
Okay, so what are the numbers?
The numbers, 61 performance grade. That's the lowest, right? 2.9 megabyte page size. 3 seconds load time and 195 requests. This is clearly a much bigger site. Like, they've got a lot of things going on. So, but I don't think that's the main reason this would be on page 10 though. Page 10? That's too far, right? Lifehacker is like, this is more of a fashion site than Lifehacker is. Like, if you look at what Lifehacker ranks for, 46 million monthly visits, by the way. The top organic keywords are how to stream on Switch, Nintendo. They're more of a tech. Yeah. It's like, if you're gonna rank for stuff, first of all, you have to think about how you prove your domain authority, right? Because to prove your domain authority, you need to have a lot of content about one specific thing. And the Idleman has a lot of content about men's fashion. Rampley and Co. has a lot of content about men's fashion. Lifehacker has a lot of content about everything. So in terms of answering the user's question, if you look at the Idleman's page for shirt and tie combinations with a gray suit, first of all, they've linked to stuff that you can actually buy from the idleman.com. And then
they sell stuff as well.
Yeah, they sell stuff. And then they've actually given you content. If we look at Lifehacker's content, okay, first of all, this article is like 2 words.
Well, let me see.
Look at this. Scroll, 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 done.
Hey, man. What more do you need? Because what's the title of this again?
Match your suit and shoes perfectly with this cheat sheet.
Okay, what does the content say?
So the content says, if you're still learning how to dress a bit better, and they've linked to one of their other sites about how to dress better, it can help you have some. It can help to have some little cheat sheets on hand. This graphic from Slater shows you what color shoes to go with color.
Oh, so it's the graphic.
So it's literally just the graphic.
And the graphic has what? The kinds of suits to wear with what kind of shoes?
Yeah, but like, this is like, if I'm searching for this stuff, I'm not realistically though.
I mean, it kind of helps.
No, it doesn't.
You see a gray suit, like, all right, boom, black shoes, let's get it.
Yeah, but
Off to the interview.
you like we can tell immediately why this stuff is on page 1 and this is and Life Hackers on page 10.
These guys ain't even trying.
This is nothing.
Listen, yo, I found this image. Let me just put it there real quick.
This is nothing. But then, to be honest, they probably don't care about 500 word search volume. This is not their main focus. So it doesn't matter to them. But for you as the guy selling the suits, dude, you have to, Rampley has to go into detail. Rampley says, yo, we're gonna show you color combinations, how to wear your suit for different occasions, how to choose the right accessories.
What?
And they list all the other accessories you need to buy.
Oh.
Dude, this is how you write content. Like that's the comparison. I know we've used the example about clothing, but you can take this example and apply it to any different product industry. It doesn't matter what it is. Obviously, we're running out of time, but you can apply this to it. Just think about your product and think about, how do I answer the user's question in the best possible way, as quickly as possible on any given device? That's what I always keep saying about SEO. And these guys have done that. They've created this article, and even the Idle Man has done that.
What was the other one?
Rampley and Co.
Oh, Rampley,
yeah. So Rampley and Co. is number 3. Idle Man is number 1. But we like Rampley and Co. because they're smart. Because they're a small site and they're not trying to rank for men's clothing keyword. Now they're trying to create content. We found them by searching for what? We just randomly found them when we searched for light gray suit, blue tie or something. Yeah, light gray suit, blue tie.
Where were they?
Number 4. Gray suit, and the article for gray suit combinations popped up. But you see, if you look at their meta title is not that great. So maybe they could do something about that to get to the top. You see, like they've got a great article,
so this meta title is what? Gray suit combinations.
Rampley and Co.
Now, what's the meta title for number 1?
The meta title for number 1 is shirt and tie combinations of a gray suit. The meta description is for number 1 is light gray suits are more apt for dinner or cocktail parties, especially if the theme is smart. But it looks like this has been picked up from the actual article.
And that's not a good thing.
If you're gonna write an article, you should have a good meta description.
Specifically for that.
But the thing is, you want to be able to write your articles like these guys have to sort of match a broad range of search terms. So the original keyword for their article was gray suit combinations, but I've just searched for light gray suit, blue tie, and they popped up, which is good for them. Because no matter what I search for, anytime I search for anything to do with gray suit, they pop up, which is great. That means they've written a good article. But Rampley and Co. needs to do better about that meta title.
Is that all they need to do better at?
What else do they need to do? So they've written the article is pretty good. What I don't see a lot of is internal links. If these guys are linking to themselves, if they've got a lot of other articles, that might help them in search, man. I don't see any internal links. Like they're linking to other people's stuff, but they don't link to themselves. They're linking to their products, which is great, but they don't have other contextual links to give people more information. Like when people say choose, like when they have a bullet point about choosing the right accessories, they could have a specific article for choosing the right accessories.
Does the Idle Man do that?
Let's see what the Idle Man. This is number 1. The gray suit. Obviously, they link to their stuff. They link to their men's style guide. They go look. See, they've linked to their article about dry cleaning.
Oh, they have a dry cleaning.
Yep. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like these guys, a whole range of colors, suit. Let's see what this.
So
they're linking to their article about suit buying guide.
When wearing a suit, and then the suit is linked to the suit buying guide.
So in under one of their headings, it says what color shirt to wear with gray suit, and it says when wearing a suit, and they've linked that to their men's suit buying guide. Right. So these guys are doing. That's why these guys are number 1.
Internal links and
you can't explicitly say, because they've obviously got a higher domain authority. But 56 and 30 and 38, it's not that big of a stretch. I think if Rampley and Co. sorted out their meta. Like the gray suit combinations as a heading is not that great.
What's the other heading?
Shirt and tie combinations with gray suit. It's very specific. It's there's a lot more. This one just says gray suit combinations. I think if these guys did a better job, they can take that spot, right? Because these guys, let's look at if Idleman has all the alt text and stuff. So I'm just doing a quick inspection. Yeah, they've got the alt text.
Shirt and tie combinations
with a gray suit. So they've got the same heading as the.
Did you check the one for
Rampley? Yeah, Rampley has. Rampley has gray suit combinations as their alt text. So it's very interesting, right? So guys, listen.
Summarize this. In short.
2,
3, 4, 5. What?
Check this out. In short, when we did a search, we started with men's clothing. It was riddled. The first page was riddled with the big boys. Like you're not getting. You maybe, but if you go a new site, that's not your strategy. Your strategy is educating people.
This is how to combine stuff.
This is how to do stuff.
Dry cleaning.
And plus,
ironing. I don't know.
Everything. You just have to be that dude. And plus, that's going to help you build your brand because people are going to share this stuff. We can see Rampley and Co. is getting shared. They're getting good engagement on Facebook. So that's your strategy. Your strategy is to find the long tail keywords and use tools, man. Like we got all the long tail keywords here. I could start a new site today. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. I'm going to see if I can comment on their blog and link to my site. They don't have comments. Yeah, but once you get your article written, you search for some like fashion street style blog and just find a blog by a person in anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter what it is. Just have it. All it needs is a decent domain authority. I like to go all the way to page 6, right? And just find some lady in, look at this, Rosie's style blog. Let's see what this is. What does it say? It's got a domain authority of 33. That's not bad. And let's see her popular posts, right? Go on her post, read her post. It's a nice post. She's wearing stuff. And then, she ain't got a comment section either. God damn it.
Don't give these low
peasants. Rosie don't want to help no peasants. Well, looks like we gotta search some more. Well, let's go. Who else we got? Streetgeist, Los Angeles street style blog. I don't know about that. Doesn't sound good. Basically, all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a blog by a person. Serendipity. Oh, there you go. So we found a blog with a domain authority of 20. Just read her article, glance through it, and then say something meaningful like, "Oh, thanks for sharing. I love your Bondi liquid gold recommendation. What's the best way to use it?" And blah blah blah, and then fill it out, link to your website, and submit the content, the comment. What's gonna happen is you're gonna do this a few times. It's gonna be tiring. But in the first few days or first few weeks of your blog, this is important because what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a bunch of links to your blog, which will get you started. It's probably one of the best ways of getting links. Still very relevant today. And there's another blog I found, and basically you just have to find these WordPress blogs and post comments on it, but like meaningful comments though. Like these, look at that. You can actually link to it. Right? And you'll get links. That shouldn't be a whole backlink strategy, but it's good. It's a good way to get links. So that's your strategy, man. Like your whole strategy is basically content. We've just proven this, right? Because we don't search for this stuff in advance. Like I just think of any search term and just come and look at it. And we basically found in real time, dude, you're not getting past Urban Outfitters. Like, let's be realistic here. Unless your site has been going for a number of years, maybe. But your whole goal has to be content. Yeah, so look, content. Find long tail keywords. try and rank for stuff that people are searching for in terms of how to use this, or as you saw, combinations. If you're in the fashion industry, combinations. If you're in any other industry, you have to go online and use and do your keyword research. Find that, write articles, listen to our previous episode. We looked at how Shopify wrote a fantastic article. Listen to that episode. Right?
Nice and short.
It's nice and short. It's like what, 13 minutes? That's the best. This is longer, but like, write great article. Like, dude, people think this stuff is rocket science, and they think it's overnight. Neither. This stuff is easy if you're willing to put in the work. Like, you just have to think, what do my users want to search? Like, what answers do they want, and how do I be the person to provide that to them? That's what this is, really. And you saw Ramply & Co. is doing that. Ramply is doing this.
Yeah.
I think we're doing a 30 of 38. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment, ask questions. You can get in touch with us. Go to the website, nicebrains.com. Follow me on Instagram at SEO of Isaac. What's your Instagram? No Instagram? Follow on Instagram, Slow Motion. Just, you can ask us questions. We'll respond. You can email us. You can email Isaac at nicebrains.com.